Hi everyone, it's Caleb. And for this week's video, I decided that I was going to do something a little bit different, so just bear with me. This week I was impressed because of a book that one of my roommates gave me, or housemates gave me. I haven't really read a lot from this book. I've really only read the prelude, or the pre-message to the real meat of the book. But it already impressed me. And it's talking about being an altar in the world. And what that means is finding spiritual connection with the mundane, with things you do in everyday life. How can we incorporate God in our everyday life? And how can our everyday life teach us more about God? So today I decided that I was going to take you guys along as I make my dinner. It is now, well, the oven's preheating, so I can't see the time, but it's around 8:30. I'm eating a little bit later. And tonight I'm going to be making a traditional fettuccine alfredo. Now it's super easy. You don't need that many ingredients. All you need is your pasta. As you can see, I got linguine because I couldn't find fettuccine. I know, disappointing. And so for the fettuccine alfredo, all you need is pasta, good Parmesan cheese, and butter. You don't need any cream. Those are the only three ingredients you need. And then I got some other stuff over here for garlic bread because I love garlic bread. And then obviously salt and pepper. Always need those. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've measured out my pasta and I have my garlic butter. I mashed it in a mortar and pestle. I took some coarse salt and put that in, and then I took some garlic and I mashed it up in there, and then I put some fresh parsley in with it, and now I'm going to spread it on the bread over there and then put it in the oven. And as you can see, the water's about to boil, and then we're going to cook our pasta and then mix it with our butter and Parmesan. Oh, and I also shredded the Parmesan, so yeah. So my pasta is almost where I want it, not quite, but it's almost there. So because it's almost there, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the butter in this pan. So I have to turn it on to about medium. I don't know, maybe there. And then I'm gonna throw my butter in this pan and let it melt. And then when my pasta's ready, I'm gonna transfer it over to this pan. So I've got my butter in here melting super nicely, and my pasta is just about ready. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it and then take the pasta and put it in with my butter while it's still melting. But here is the most important part. I'm going to take some pasta water out. This pasta water is super rich in starch, and that's going to help the butter and the cheese, which is now grated and sitting over there, emulsify and make a really nice fettuccine sauce, or Alfredo sauce, sorry, that will stick really nicely to the pasta. So technically it's a 4-ingredient pasta, just the pasta water, the butter, and the cheese. So yeah. So here's my pasta, and just in with the butter, honestly. And now I just gotta mix this and put in the cheese, put in the pasta water, and wait for it to emulsify. So here I am putting in a little bit of the cheese at a time, about a handful at a time, and I'm just going to do a splash of pasta water. Like I said, this is one of the most important ingredients. And then just mix that up and see how it's coming. Okay, so I've been stirring for about 3 minutes. Slowly incorporating more and more cheese. As you can see, a lot of it is gone, and more pasta water. A lot of that is gone too. And if you look at the noodles, the sauce is starting to really stick to the noodles. When I first did this, about 3 minutes ago, the butter was flying everywhere. But you see, all that thick sauce is sticking nicely to the noodles. I pulled my garlic bread out. It's sitting over there, ready to be plated. And I would say this needs maybe a little bit more time, and then we'll sit down and we'll eat it, or I'll eat it. Unless you're following along, then you'll eat it. Alrighty, so my pasta is ready, and I'm just gonna take this and put it on the plate, and we'll be ready to go. I already have my garlic bread here, and let me try and get all of that pasta goodness out of the pan and onto the plate. And now I'm just going to garnish a little bit with fresh parsley and then go sit down. The time has come for me to sit down and enjoy this wonderful, wonderful meal. Now, this reminds me of the book that I mentioned in the beginning and how we can bring the supernatural and the spiritual and an understanding of God into our everyday mundane tasks like making dinner. And you see, with this fettuccine alfredo, there are only 3 real ingredients: butter, pasta, and Parmesan. And that reminds me a lot of our church. In 1 Corinthians 12, Paul talks about how we are the body of Christ, and each of us is given different spiritual gifts and different attributes. He relates us to a body, and he talks about if the eye doesn't want to do his job, then the body won't be a good body, quite simply. And if the hand doesn't want to do their job, then the body won't be a good body. It won't get anything done. Just like this pasta. On its own, butter is just butter, and pasta is just pasta, dried pasta, and pasta water is just pasta water. And you may be one of those 3 things. God may have given you a gift that you may feel like you're not good enough. But I want to encourage you that when put together with some of the other gifts that God has given other people, we can all come together and make a beautiful, beautiful body, or in this case, a beautiful fettuccine alfredo. Now I'm going to eat this. You guys have a great week.